And we should be live right now. Can everybody hear me? Dolphin123, welcome. Can you hear me? Perfect, perfect. So let's start off, as I always do. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Levi Illis here. Thanks again for watching and welcome to my new subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I'm trying to bring you cryptocurrency news in the entertainment kind of way, so it's easy for you to digest. So guys, I needed to apologize because I actually wanted to start off half an hour earlier, but we already started, but I messed up with the live stream. As you know, I'm a noob whenever it comes to live streams, and this is just my second live stream, so bear with me, but everything should be fine right now. So I have a special guest for you guys today. I have Adam Meister, the Bitcoinmeister, on the show today, and we are going to talk about Bitcoin, Segwit 2x, Bitcoin Cash, why you should hold, and who is Adam Meister actually? Adam, can you do a short introduction about yourself, please, as you always do, in your signature way?
Well, it's great to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me. Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoinmeister, the Disruptmeister. And I want to remind all the people in the chat to pound that like button. So yeah, I'm Adam. I have my own channel out there on YouTube. Some of you might have heard of it before. It's the Bitcoinmeister channel. You can just look up Bitcoinmeister on YouTube or go to disruptmeister.com and you'll find my channel. I post a new video every day, and it's all about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and being safe in the news of the day. Just anything goes. I interview different people from all over the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world. And I love to travel around the world. I'm based in Baltimore, or that's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. But most of the year, I'm just somewhere else. I'm going to be in Spain next week. And it's exciting. I love Bitcoin.
Yeah, and how did you get involved into Bitcoin? When did it all started, Adam?
Well, I started hearing about it back in 2011 on some of these alternative financial channels, and I didn't think much of it. But then finally in 2013, I bought my first Bitcoin, and it's been a wild ride ever since then. So I guess I'm considered like a veteran. It's amazing that people that have been around, that have owned Bitcoin since 2013 are wild veterans. But I mean, there's so many new people in the space just this year. And I like what you're doing. You're trying to introduce new people to it and keep it, keep the newbies comfortable. And I try to do that, but some of my stuff can get very complicated. I just don't want people getting ripped off, getting into scams and stuff. So I just preach the simple buy and hold. It's not very exotic or sexy, but it's over the long run, buy and hold of Bitcoin. It pays off. Trust me. I mean, you could look at my old shows from a year ago where I'm talking about Bitcoin $700, guys. Come on now. Or Bitcoin $600 is a good value. You should get in. And now we're like $4,000. It really looks like, yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah, indeed. And what did you do before Bitcoin, Adam?
Well, I was involved with marketing and the internet, just running my own businesses. I was involved in rejuvenating a block in Baltimore City where I lived in a not so great area, helping make it better. So I'm an independent person. I don't work for anyone. I work for myself. I come up with creative ideas. I'm always looking for, new opportunities. And I think that's what cryptocurrency kind of represents to me, is this like independence. You don't have to work for anyone, but you have to depend on yourself. I mean, you control your private key. If you mess that up, you can't blame it on a third party. Cryptocurrency is about getting rid of the third parties. And I guess that's what a big part of my business life has been about, just relying on myself, not working for a third party.
Exactly. That's what I love from you, because I'm also an independent entrepreneur, and I also do not like to work for a boss. So we have some things in common right there. So Adam, can you tell me about the FUD that's been going on here in China, or there in China, let's say? What will they do on the short term and on the long term? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, obviously the Chinese government is threatened by Bitcoin. So they've started to overreach. They've made ICOs illegal. They've almost made Bitcoin illegal. So at first people were so scared about it, but there isn't that much. I mean, through the years, we've gone through this many times where China threatens to do something, or there are China rumors, and it's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, what should we believe? What shouldn't we believe? But also, it doesn't really affect the market that much. In Japan and Korea, those are markets that are big now. And if you're Chinese, if you're stuck in China and you're trying to get your Bitcoin out of there, you're going to find a way. Now, if you're some guy in China that just likes being a trader, well, it's going to be hard to be a trader, but maybe you'll just get into the Korean market or the Japanese market. Where there's a will, there's a way, but it's nothing to panic over. And already the price has recovered since then. I try to calm people down about that. I mean, I make a joke about it. It's just overblown China FUD. And I try to make people have a strong hand and not panic sell, because if you panic sell, there's some big institution or some big flipper out there that's just going to buy it on the cheap for you because they know it's going to be worth more one day. So never panic. That's why I say have a strong hand and just hold on to your Bitcoin and just have a goal in mind. Like, I am not going to sell until the year 2020. That's what I try to tell people: buy and hold 2020. And the reason I picked out that year is because that is the year of the Bitcoin halving. And don't necessarily sell in that year either. But I just try to give people a long-term goal, which actually isn't that long from that. It's not that far away in the future, 2020. It kind of sounds futuristic, but it isn't that far away. But don't panic sell, people. Don't flip. Yeah.
And for the people that are new to the cryptocurrency space and the Bitcoin space, Adam, what exactly does the halving mean?
Well, it's every 4 years, the miners mine the Bitcoin, and every 4 years they only are allowed to mine half the amount of Bitcoin that they previously mined. So the supply that they will be putting on the market will be cut in half. So the overall supply of Bitcoin on the market will go down, so the price will go up. The price will go up. I mean, when we already lived through this in 2016, the lead up to the 2016 Bitcoin halving, the price went up. So we should expect something similar leading up to the 2020 Bitcoin halving. And then there'll be one in 2024 and 2020 and so on, every 4 years.
Yeah. Okay, clear. Thanks for clarifying. So what are your thoughts, Adam, about these hard forks that are happening? We had a hard fork at the 1st of August. For those who are new to Bitcoin, a hard fork is actually a code upgrade. And in August, we had Bitcoin Cash, hard fork. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash? Or should I say Bcash?
Yes, I only say Bcash because there is only one Bitcoin. Now, before the hard forks, people were worried that like there would be a contentious hard fork where there'd be a group saying, no, we have the real Bitcoin, and another group saying we have the real Bitcoin, and no one would know. And I was in the group of people that was worried for a while, like during the winter and spring, that we could have a contentious hard fork. And I wanted to avoid a contentious hard fork at all costs. But I did realize that there are ways to fork Bitcoin just to form your own altcoin. And when I started hearing about this Bcash thing, I realized that they would not have a legitimate claim to Bitcoin. I realized that. So I wasn't worried about that when August 1st came around. For a while, I was worried about these 2X type of people, the big blockers. When the big blockers were more united, I was worried. I did think, well, are they going to produce something that they're going to have a legitimate claim to Bitcoin? But what the name Bitcoin, and also because some of the big blockers own like Bitcoin.com, that URL. But as we got closer to August 1st, as we got closer to the present, I started realizing, like, wait a second, we're not going to have a contentious hard fork because this community is so overwhelmingly against this stuff that the power of marketing and the power of talking, that's what defines what Bitcoin really is. And the community clearly was saying that the Bitcoin people who wanted Segwit as the solution to the scaling issue, that was the real Bitcoin. So Bcash, I was not worried about. But then when Bcash happened, I really started seeing, okay, this is clearly an altcoin. Everyone treated it as an altcoin. Everyone called it Bcash. But I got this new perspective on Bitcoin forks. And I had discussed this in the past, that there could be something called a friendly fork. And obviously Bcash and 2x, those are unfriendly forks. But they were trying to cause trouble. But I hypothesized back in April, I believe, that there could be friendly forks. And then once I saw these unfriendly forks come about and just form an altcoin, Bcash, then I realized that, wait a second, all these forks are ways of rewarding savers, holders of Bitcoin. They're dividends, basically. They're crypto dividends. I had this revelation and this moment of clarity where I'm like, okay, these are just crypto dividends. This is the way we've got to say that. Tell the world that they are. So go ahead. If you want to fork Bitcoin, go ahead, do it. Because there's only one Bitcoin. You're just forming an altcoin, and it's going to just enrich us holders of Bitcoin. It makes holding Bitcoin that much more lucrative. So my mind started shifting on what these hard forks really were. Because again, and I should say, I lived through the Ethereum Classic Ethereum split. And I thought that was, at the time, I thought that was bad for Ethereum. But guess what? I learned that Ethereum is still Ethereum. And guess what? They're going to have another split eventually too, pretty soon. Community activated hard fork people. And we can get that. Anyway, so they're going to have, anyone can have a crypto dividend. We should consider it an honor to have a crypto dividend, because you are such a great cryptocurrency that someone else wants to fork off from you and form an altcoin. That means you are a solid root coin. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're so established that people just want to fork off of them and do things. That's awesome. Again, I preach buying and holding, and this is just a new great thing about holding, is just you're going to get these crypto dividends, whether it be Bcash and then 2x, they might not have replay protection. So, okay, then avoid that. Then don't even touch it. Let them just do whatever they want to. But and then we've just heard about this B Gold. And I actually broke the B Gold story on my channel a month ago. And people are getting excited about this because this is a friendly fork. These guys aren't trying to be Bitcoin. Now, at first, their website looked horrible, so people were paranoid. They're like, oh, it's out of China. It must be. Again, there's your China FUD. And people say the most ridiculous things. They're working on their website right now. It'll be better. October 25th is the day of the B Gold split. So, you'll talk about it. And guess what? If you don't like it, then you don't have to get it. You don't automatically, you have to do certain things and be able to claim your crypto dividend. But if you don't like it, then just pretend it doesn't exist. It's just a unique way of forming an altcoin and a way for people who are already holding the root coin, the main coin, Bitcoin, to benefit from holding.
Yeah, so let's get back a little bit to 2x. Yeah? What are your thoughts about 2x, Adam? Because I personally think it will not happen due to the fact that that Bcash already has bigger blocks. But what are your thoughts about it? You also see a lot of, let's say, polls coming on Twitter and a lot of voting that goes for no 2x. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I think it obviously is ridiculous because if they want big blocks, they should already play around with Bcash. But Bcash has shown the world that it's lucrative to make these forks. So a lot of people are dropping out of the 2x agreement. All the rational businesses are not going to want to have anything to do with this. But there'll be miners out there that'll be like, what the heck? Why not? There are enough people out there that'll support it that they'll make a lot of money. So I think it is going to happen. It's no threat to Bitcoin. It's just a crypto dividend. It's just a new way. It's just an altcoin. And so again, and I also think they'll do replay protection. Which will, if they don't, then like, who's going to even touch it? Who's going to even want to play around with it? But again, people be calm. And there probably will be some FUD around it, and maybe the price of Bitcoin will go down. One thing that I will say this, if the 2x people totally drop it and totally decide they're not going to do this at all, then the price of Bcash is going to go up. And I'm not a Bcash fan. I'm just telling you, but I don't think that's going to happen anyway. And the funny thing is, the B gold people are part of the reason they're doing this, and they're trying to form their altcoin when they is so that it comes out before 2x. So it takes away even more of the bang that 2x is supposed to make. Because again, 2x is an unfriendly fork. B gold is a friendly fork. So it's already taking away attention from the 2x people. So we'll see what happens, but I am not worried about 2x at all. But I do think they'll go through with it. I think they'll go through with it.
Let's see, mid of November, it will take place or not. Let's see about that. So, Adam, as a final thought, what are your thoughts about Bitcoin for the future? Where do you see it heading in the next 5 years? Do you think it's going to go up in a straight line? What are your thoughts on that? And yeah, let's keep it like that.
Well, I try not to get people too excited. I don't believe in those clickbait titles. There's so many people out there who are like, Bitcoin, $1 million next year. I know. So I try to, first of all, what I encourage people is to look at my archives and see when I was talking about it, when it was $400, I was like, guys, buy 10 of them now. It'll cost $4,000 and just hold till 2020. And now people are looking back and like, oh my God, was he right? Because now it's already worth 10 times. It would be worth $40,000. So with all that in mind, it's still beaten my expectations. I never thought we'd be at 4,000 here, but I don't want to make people go crazy. But again, buy and just be simple with it. Don't get bored with your Bitcoin. Don't try to get into these ICOs and stuff. So my price prediction, well, first of all, November, there'll be FUD. Yeah. There might be turbulence again in November. But guys, there's December. There's going to be a December, and that is going to be good because all of this 2x stuff will be behind us. They won't be able to scare people anymore. So maybe they'll come up with some other scare tactics, some other people. There's always going to be fudsters. Maybe Korea, there'll be regulation in Korea, and then there'll be Korean fudsters. I don't know. But I foresee the price being higher next year, obviously. I think it would be great in 2020 if Bitcoin hit $10,000. I think it would be great. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but my God, that would just be so awesome. So I don't want to say, I don't want to say, oh, it's going to be 100,000. No, 10,000. I'd be happy if it's $7,000 in 2020. I mean, just as long as it's more. I think we'll hit 5,000 again this year, by the way. So there's a little. I mean, I don't like to say specific numbers, but I'm not saying anything too insane here, because there's a lot of guys that are like, well, if I do this mathematical calculation, obviously it will be $1 million in 2021. No, I'm not going to say anything like that. But hey, it's good. Buy and hold is a great strategy. Hold on to what you got. Be safe. Put it on a Trezor or a Ledger Nano. And don't get caught up in these crazy altcoins or these ICOs. Stick with the Bitcoin.
Good. Well said. Amen to that, Adam. So as a last final thought, what I do like of you, I also like your philosophy, how you stand in life. So what would you recommend for someone to get, let's say, independently, of everything? What is the advice you can give and to reach your goals?
All right. So put yourself out there. Don't have a positive attitude. There's so many people in the cryptocurrency space, in the alternative economic space that are worried all the time. Like I call it doom porn. They're addicted to these. They're addicted to these channels where the guys are like, talking about how the world's going to end or how there's going to be a war and how you have to be just all sorts of, and you should be prepared for the worst.
It should have been end of the world, last Saturday, the 23rd of September, by the way.
Exactly. Everyone should have insurance. Everyone should have backup. Everyone should have food storage. But you cannot become obsessed with these things and almost gain pleasure in all of these crazy conspiracy-based theories about what's about to happen, that some magical thing is about to happen and the whole economy is going to shut down and you've got to be, hiding down in a bunker somewhere. You're just not going to be productive that way. You need to be productive. So you got to have that's what I was just saying. You can worry about November, or you can think about like, well, there's going to be a December and it's going to be awesome. So have that attitude. If you have like your own ideas, put them out there on YouTube, put them out there on Twitter. It never hurts to share. It never hurts to contact people who make videos. But I think the Bitcoin space, if you're into education or you're into marketing, there are some unique opportunities out there, because I was young during the whole .com thing, but I saw how it went exponential. Like there were so many opportunities. So I'm not missing out on these opportunities. I mean, be a consultant, be anything. Don't let someone say, well, you can't be that because you're charging too much, or you don't know what you're talking about. No, they're a naysayer. You're a doer. So just be a doer and just ignore those naysayers, because I don't know what their problems are. I mean, they're psychologically messed up. Just ignore them. Surround yourself with positive people. Go to the positive channels and network. There's nothing. What's the worst that can happen? Someone can ignore you. Then they ignore you. Then move on. Meet someone else out there. So you're on the right path here. You're a really positive guy. You're into the education side of cryptocurrency. So hey, follow all of us here, and there's some very helpful people out there, and they'd love to talk to you on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, network. So and you can email me at adam@tresorhelp.com, and I can tell people little tidbits of advice too if they want to talk.
And can you share your YouTube channel?
Oh, my YouTube channel?
Twitter channel?
Yeah, of course. Bitcoinmeister. You can find me at Bitcoinmeister easily, or just go to disruptmeister.com. You can find me at Steemit at Bitcoinmeister also. And and of course, TechBalt on Twitter.
Exactly.
TechBalt.
Yes. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for your positivity. That's what I like, your positive attitude. We think alike in that sense, and I'm very happy that you have been on my show. Thank you very much. And I hope I can have you later on in the future as well in my show. And who knows, we will meet each other in real life, because it's a small world after all, right?
It is. And it's been an honor. And I hope to have you on my show pretty soon too. And I will return here if you want me to return. Definitely. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the invite then, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.